Hi, I am going to show you today how I do research on finding articles about things I want to teach. This is something you need to get in the habit of doing. It's actually really easy because you've got great tools here at UNC Charlotte, and so I want to just kind of give you a quick tour of things. So on our website, I've mentioned the lesson planning resources button there. Um, and whenever you're getting started, you want to start by doing research on something. You're new to this, so it's hard for you to know when we say teach a lesson on, and I gave you the standard from last week, even the fact building an understanding of why the x value of a coordinate point of a graph of intersecting lines is the solution to the equation of f of x equals g of x. Getting your head around what that means and how it can be taught and what students knew beforehand and what they need to be able to do after they're done with this, and what do we know about research on student thinking with these things. Those are things that as a new teacher you don't know yet, and that's okay. But you do need to do your research to figure that stuff out. Some of that is when you get out into schools, you start asking your colleagues because they've got a lot of knowledge. And here for this class, you'll not only ask colleagues or myself, but we're going to learn how to do research on it. So two places that I want you to get really comfortable going to. The first one is a set of briefs. So you'll notice down here, start by doing your research. The first bullet there says, hey, check out the set of research briefs. This is going to the project website that I've mentioned to you before for the collaboratory. Down at the bottom here is a set of briefs that have been written by the writers of the North Carolina Standards. It's 2 pages. Every one of these is 2 pages, which gives you a brief overview of what this particular unit, the things in this unit are about, what students in the prior class did, so you kind of know what their background is, what they need to be able to do by the end, and it really just highlights the big ideas. So these are the way the units are pretty much structured in every school district across the state for Math 1, 2, and 3. Some do change it. This is not prescribed, so a lot of people change and move things around according to what's appropriate. But given these titles, you should be able to find information about whatever topics it is you're getting ready to teach, even if yours isn't going in the same order. So for example, I mentioned, the thing we dug into last week was looking for tasks, ways of teaching about understanding the solution to an equation as the intersection of the points of the 2 expressions on either side. So that's about equations, solutions for equations in Math 1. So that's going to be right here. If I click on this, I get a 2-page brief. That's all it is, 2 pages. That gives you the big ideas of what are going on in this unit. It explains what this algebra and function strand is across K-8, so you get a sense of what kind of experiences they'll have before they're in a Math 1 class. What are the big ideas in Math 1? Some ways to think about how to build that understanding. And right here is really where we were focusing on understanding what solutions are, and then moving into the concept of function. So this is just kind of a highlight of the research on and the big ideas to take away from an entire unit, not from a single lesson, but it gives you a broad overview. And if you're teaching something very specific there's always some references there that might be of interest for you to dig into and read about. So that's where the next thing comes in. You need to be able to find some research on these things. So the place I always recommend going is NCTM. So it's just nctm.org, National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. They have research journals. They have journals that are specific for high school and middle school math teachers. So Mathematics Teacher is the high school journal. Mathematics Teaching in the middle school is the middle school journal. And Teaching Children Mathematics is one for K-6. They all overlap. So there's a lot of great articles in the mathematics teaching in the middle school that are great for high school teachers as well. So just know that. So what I typically do is I come up here and I just search the topic I'm looking for. So for example, let's just say solving equations and see what pops up. Does understanding the equal sign matter? That's from a journal. Solving equations in a technological environment, and so on. You've got all these articles here. This one sounds interesting, huh? So I'm going to click on it. It's a description of an alternative algebra course used in Israel, centered around the concept of function, based on intensive use of technology. This may not be of interest to you right now. I'm just going to show you, this isn't specifically about solving equations, it's around function, but I'm going to show you how to find this article, okay? You can join NCTM, and when you join, you select an article, a journal that you get as part of that membership. Your first year teaching or during student teaching, student memberships are cheaper. Definitely join, okay? But if you're not going to join right now, this stuff is all available at UNC Charlotte as well. So this is the article I'm going to look for. So I'm going to go over to the library here. This article is in Mathematics Teachers. That's the name of the journal. So I'm just going to search for Mathematics Teacher. As long as I spell it right. I always spell mathematics wrong, so sometimes it takes me 2 tries. Mathematics Teachers, multiple versions online. Here's the Journal of Mathematics Teacher Education. I'm looking specifically for Mathematics Teacher. This is the one I want. So it's going to look like it's going to give me a couple of options. Here's the actual journal. That means the hard copies. Here it is online. I want the online one because I'm sitting at home. Okay, they've got it through lots of different outlets. I'm just going to choose the first one. JSTOR is the one that usually pops up first. It's very reliable, but any of those would work. It's just showing you the different places that you could go that they've already paid so you can have access. Okay, so notice we have the Mathematics Teacher. That is the right journal. It's the one from the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. And it goes all the way down here to the 1900s. They have all of these in electronic form. So what specifically was I looking for? I've lost track of where I was. Here I am. I'm looking for an article from 1997, Volume 90, Issue 2. So 1997 is where I'm looking. So let's go down here to the 90s. 97, Issue 2. Here are all the articles. This particular one was called Solving Equations in a Technological Environment. So that's what I'm looking for here, solving equations in a technological environment. And sometimes they have a theme in a journal, so you might come up with other things that you want to read just by going through. Right here, this is the one that we pulled up that we were interested in. Download the PDF, I click that. And you can't see it right now. Let me move it in here, but there's the article. Okay. Mathematics teacher articles are written for teachers, just like the middle school teaching in mathematics is. It's written for teachers. They're not long, and they are fantastic. So your assignment is going to be doing a little bit of research. I just wanted to show you how to go about doing that. The 2 places that you're going to be looking regularly are the NC2ML briefs and searching in NCTM. So if you have any questions about this process, don't hesitate to ask. Good luck.